All right, the last thing we want to talk about is a couple of extra hints, and we want to build a framework so that we can make it easy to write our program and make the things look cleaner and neater. My one challenge with block programming is that it's not very neat. And we like neat, so I'm going to show you a couple of ways to organize and make things neat. And I want to introduce you to a couple of things that will help with that. And the first of those is called a function. So I'm going to build a function here, and you'll notice that my function is dark blue. So we go down onto the advanced section of our programming, and we go to functions. And there's a thing that says make a function. So we'll make this function name be, after I can erase it, I think we will call this the lab. And I'm going to click OK, and I now have a function called the lab that we can use. And now we're going to put in the for loop call function the lab. The nice thing about functions is that they're really easy to copy and paste. You can reuse them in other projects. You can move things from one project to another. Just makes kind of easy. And you'll notice that it has the exact same shape in it as your forever loophole does and all these other things we've been looking at. So it works just like that. The other thing we can do is we can use variables to simplify our life. So we told you that variables were a place you hold something. So let's try this. And instead of having our on pin A1 click tell us exactly what we want to do, I'm going to have on pin A1 click set a variable. So on button A click, I'm going to change that to pin 1A. And then I'm going to go down to variables, and we're going to make a variable, and I'm going to name this variable mode. And I'm going to make this say set mode to 1. So when you click button 1 here, set the mode to 1. And then I can go back to my input and drag another one over here, and I can say on pin A2 click, and I can copy and paste set mode to 2. Or I can go drag them back from my main window again, but much easier to just do this. Duplicate, change this to on pin A3 click, set mode to 3. And as you can see here, what we're doing is we're building this framework that we want to use. So I'm going to duplicate this a few more times. That's for pin 4, pin 5, pin 6, and pin 7. And we'll set these up here. Now there are 8 pins. Pin 0 actually, when you push it, makes a really horrible buzzing noise because it's meant to be the pin to use for a speaker. So you probably don't want to put a pin into pin 0. That would be bad, just obnoxious. So I'm going to go change the rest of these. 5, 6, and 7. And the reason I've done that is now I can combine that with an if statement. And we can very quickly step through some different modes. So I'm going to do this simply to show you how to do that, but you'll be able to do any of the things you might want. So we're going to add an if statement, and I know it's going to be way more than an if else. And then I'm going to say what I want here is if I want to know if the mode variable is set to 1. So we're going to go find logic for a minute and get my comparison. So I can do this. So we want if this is equal to this. This is the other thing that's a little hard about these, is you gotta get sure you get them drug into the right spot. It's way easier to do with a mouse than standalone. You don't want to move them into the wrong place. One more try. 1. Go back into my variables and grab my little circular thing for mode, and I'm going to say if mode is 1, then do this. And I'm going to say, okay, let's play that animation if mode is 1. And then I'm going to repeat that. So we can take this and duplicate it. And we can change it to say if mode is equal to 2, then what animation should we run then? Let's run another animation. And we can keep adding those all the way down till we have our set of 7 choices with different animations or different colors, all of the things we might want to do. Now I'm going to make this really simple and just make them different colors. That might be all you want to do. So I want a 4, and I want a 5, and I want a 6, and I want a 7. And I don't want that else. So we're going to drag this into all of those. And if you go through and do this with me, what you will end up with is a complete framework for your project all ready to go. And then you will be able to spend oh so many hours making it do whatever you want it to do. So 4 is going to be red. And purple, because I have to do one that's purple. If I didn't do one that was purple, it would be completely wrong. You would all be ever so disappointed in me. And let's see, let's make one light purple. Let's make one white so it's really bright. So I just built my complete framework for my project. All ready to go, all lined up here, all nicely. And I can give this a name. And we'll call my entire project the Steamy Tech Lab, and I'll hit save on that as well. And now that I've downloaded that one, we can program it. Go drag that onto my disk, and you'll notice that as I hit the different buttons here, it goes and does different things. So we're going to come back and put this together next. Put your project together, let you build your project. Because once you've got your project built, then you'll see how that program you just built runs and gives you a piece of beautiful art. And then you can go play and play and play and make it do anything you want it to do. Thanks.